Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second segment, episode 258 of Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and this portion of the show is when we talk about things that are happening out and about, and this is outdoor spaces that add the most value.
And we've got 5 topics that we're going to talk about today, or 5 things we're going to bring up today. And the importance of this is when you create these outdoor spaces or outdoor active space, what do you call them? Outdoor value add spaces. They are really make the home just more livable. I wasn't really sure how I was going to say that, but that's what it comes down to, is it just creates additional areas to enjoy, additional use, and really makes it livable, more livable.
And as people stay in their houses longer and longer, we're noticing that there are the potential for someone to have a project come into some money and make these decisions, but that needs to be done, and it's best to consult a real estate advisor, realtor, because we see so much of these things. We see hundreds of homes a week, and we can tell you what does and what doesn't work. I was actually talking with Mark McCabe about that's the exact same thing, and this is how we came up with this topic.
Interesting.
So one of the first things we want to talk about is creating versatile covered outdoor space. And we use the term covered because that really is important because of the way the summers hit here. They're just a little intense when they get here. Also allows you the versatility of using it deeper into the fall and also in the spring. So it's a great item. One of the things to think about is that these outdoor spaces can actually function more as an outdoor living room when you look at it like that. It's so important to have 110 outlets, Wi-Fi, extenders, TV. I think you and I both use our outdoor, you do for sure, our outdoor TVs. So important. Whether you do or you don't get a cover, we don't have ours in a cover. I don't think you do.
I don't normally have it in a cover. I should, but I don't.
But I think that it's really smart to get these spaces. We had a bunch of friends over to watch one of the football games, and it was so great because we have the ability to have everybody watch the game and then also eat and cook out. So these things add the value. You've got to experience it. You want to come over, call me. I'll do burgers.
So the second item is modern feature-rich pools, and these are if you're going to put a pool in, do it the right way. Get away from the kiddie pool. Get away from the amoeba. More modern style pools are more attractive, and not just in modern homes.
It's true. The other thing that I want people to think about, and you and I didn't talk about this, it just kind of came to me because we were just at Royal. I think that people are more accustomed today to having a 5-foot pool across rather than have the deep end.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people will use it more whether they're playing volleyball or they're swimming, but the idea to have that deep pool, I think, has pretty much played itself out. Some of the bigger features would be to have a tanning ledge. I think they're so important. One of the other things you can do is I'm going to call it a port, but you can put a port into the pads. You can put them into the pavers around. And they're actually for sunbrellas, and they create a really great way to actually add shade to these hot summers.
And if you are going to do that, make sure that you talk to somebody about where the best place for those are, because it's going to depend a lot upon where your trees are, what direction your pool faces. You know, if you're doing this in the wintertime, the sun's going to hit differently than it does in the summer. So be sure to think those things through.
You're 100% right on that.
Third topic is thoughtfully designed outdoor kitchens, and these I don't have an outdoor kitchen, although I've got a bar outside. So anyway, but I've got a couple of grills, and it really does create kind of what I think of as an outdoor kitchen.
I think one of the things to take into consideration when you're creating an outdoor kitchen is how do you vent it? Because I don't think that everybody does, and that's one of the things that we're struggling with, and so we're extending our patio beyond so that we can get our grill out, because otherwise we smoke everybody out. That's a really important thing to take into consideration. The other thing too is there's some really interesting options out there that have kind of come on in the last 5 years. So if you're a big green egg cooker, now you can create a nest for that. That's kind of known. The griddle, I would say, is one of the other items that we get a lot of play on right now. You have one. I think I should have one. I can't talk Jason into it. One of the newer products that I've seen, this I would love, is the walk base, and so it has more BTUs to it. It gets a lot hotter. But if you're eating healthy, you think about your spring eating. How easy would that be? Just to and I want to do the flipping too.
We also wanted to bring up the trend of front yard fences coming back. And we've seen some really cool ones. I mean, we've seen some that were very simple, but they were done well, and they were done to scale of the yard. It's like the beaver cleaver house.
I love these things. I absolutely love these things. And I would love them because I would love for them to catch on, because I think that this would encourage people to go back into their front yards. I feel like we cocoon so much right now that we don't always meet our neighbors, and we're missing some of those relationships that this, I think, could provide. If you could let everyone in your family run out the front door and not worry about them getting in the street or anything like that, this is a great solution.
I think they add another layer of security as well, because if I were putting a fence around my front yard, I would, I'd only go 4 foot high, but I would definitely have a motorized gate at the front. There would be a doorbell at the street at where, somebody, it would just keep people away from your front door, which is, I feel would be a great, great benefit.
Well, the other thing too that I think I would do, I think I would cut like a little doggy square on the side fence, and then your pups in the backyard could make like a lap and go front yard to backyard, front yard to backyard. Wouldn't you do that?
No, because then I'd have this mud line all the way around my yard.
I would do it. Riley would go bananas at 7 o'clock and at 6 o'clock.
We'll put Riley and Cannon out there together.
Good God, all hell break loose.
So these are really kind of cost effective, and one of the really great things about them is they're not adding square footage to your house. Therefore, chances that you're going to see any additional, much of an additional tax valuation increase is relatively minor.
The other thing too is you don't have to worry about heating and cooling unless you're going to put in a fireplace or some residual heating elements. One other thing to be mindful of: furnishing these things can be a little pricey. It is an outdoor living area. Sometimes they price it as if it were a real indoor living. So be mindful of the sales that are approaching. Toja is a company that builds really great outdoor structures. Toja actually has the fittings now that will allow you to create chairs and a picnic table. I would definitely look into that. That way you can kind of customize them and make them look more like something in your house.
So we hope you found this helpful today. If there's any other topics that you'd like us to talk about, or anything that we've kind of brought up into your mind today that you want to discuss, just give us a call. We'd be happy to make that happen.
And just remember, we're going to be realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.